Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. This is my review for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6 Reunion, Part 2. Happy Friday to y'all. I know the people that are in warmer states, are going to have a great weekend. I wish I was there. I knew something told me. Like I said, Chris, go to Cali this weekend. And I didn't. Instead, like I decided to stay. I was like, let me just try to save money since like the YouTube is hitting right now, but my bartending job right now is just like not where I want it to be. But yeah, here I am. I am in cold ass New York. I had a little break for the past 2 days, but now we are going right back into it. So today I'm going to do Salt Lake City. If the Potomac reunion looks come out, I will be doing that before I go to work. I watched Traders last night. I already did my notes for that, so I'm ready. But I think I'm going to do Traders tomorrow. And then Beverly Hills will be on Sunday. Now, let me tell you something. I appreciate y'all's excitement for Traders, but please, I beg of you, do not message me the night of talking about Traders. Like, I am at work. Like, I never watch TV live. I don't. Like, I appreciate, the excitement because I don't want to single out anybody. But I got a message yesterday saying, like, oh, that cult needs to get out that. Don't tell me anything. Oh my God. I was so mad, but I was just like, you know what? I just hearted it and kept it moving. And I just gave a little lovely PSA announcement on my Instagram. So, yes, going forward, please do not send me spoilers when it comes to the game reality shows. I like to be surprised, especially with like Drag Race or Traders. So, yes. Yeah, I know y'all. Thank you so much. I got a haircut. I feel like myself again. And also, I was expecting to do a little interview today, but that got canceled. But we're gonna do it on Sunday. It's Housewives related. Anywho, Salt Lake City. I did not enjoy this part 2 of the reunion. I was really surprised by the end. It took a really dark turn. And also, I didn't like the beginning of this episode either, so I might kind of breeze right past that. Make sure you like the video. I need the subscriber count to move up, y'all. It's been the same for the past 3 days. I'm like, the haters are just like, they enforce right now. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Just tell a friend, tell a kin, tell that heifer you hate. If you know somebody who loves reality shows just as much as you, please recommend me and say, follow this nigga. Follow him. Anyway, I'm trying to think, any other announcements do I have? I think that's it. Also, live crew, help me out. While I'm doing this recap, please let me know if they drop the reunion looks. Just let me know, and then anybody send that to me. Send me the link to the reunion looks so I could get, started on my recap of those. So yeah, that's y'all job. While y'all watching me, please let me know if the reunion looks drop as I'm doing this. Okay, so we got about a little bit, almost 50 in the room. We can start. All right, so we left off on that scroll that I'm about to say Andy, that Angie brought, because like she's just scraping the bottom of the barrel to just be recognized at this reunion and trying to get a moment. And I think it fell flat to me. It's a list of the mean tweets that were directed at her from a Twitter profile that she believes belong to Lisa, because like apparently they tracked the account's phone number to Lisa's phone number. Now, there's a lot of back and forth, and it's really just whose word you believe, because it really just can't be proven. And then side note, that Olympics advertisement is blocking Whitney's entire face, and it took me out. It took off Bronwyn's face too, but I was just like, Who at marketing decided to make that shit like this big? Like that's so crazy. Like they definitely want those advertisers. Um, anyway, Angie says she's watched this account for 2 years. 2 years, girl, and you like instead of just blocking it, and y'all know anybody ever try to come for me on social media more than once, it's an immediate block. I don't care who it is. Um, but yeah, it's basically Heather, Angie, and Whitney versus Lisa. It is a storm of talking, like just coming from all angles. Andy wants to move on. He's getting more and more agitated. They keep talking, even though he's like, guys, can we move on? I want to move on. Even after Andy's like, stop, you guys, stop. So then Andy, for the first time, I think, uh, has walked off stage during a reunion. Um, he tried to make a moment out of this, but if he really was angry, he just would have went straight to his dressing room, but he didn't. He just decided to walk off and then, be off camera for a bit, then came right back on. Um, Once they realized that that he's pissed, like he's really pissed and walked off, they decide to be quiet. They apologize. um Rich the Fish, I could just always depend on you for a comment. Yes, we will be putting our red triangles in the chat for the reunion looks, because look, between me and y'all right now, there's not that many people in here. I was told that Monique shut it down at the reunion. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, this is something. I mean, she don't look bad, and I don't hate the look. It's just it looks like she's about to judge Drag Race, and I think it's leaning all the way to more so costume than a look. And that's when it makes it seem like you're trying harder than you need to. But yeah, we'll talk about that once I do my reunion look review. I know y'all, please, don't come at me too hard. Like that's what I heard. That's what was told to me. Anyway, so now Heather is asked, what receipts does she have in regards to Lisa being the leak in the group? Again, it's just hearsay accusations that is outside of the show that can't be proven. And it's basically Heather's word against Lisa. And this was just most of the beginning of this reunion. The issue that's bothering me right now as I was watching, because I didn't even want to watch a second time, y'all, but I did just to take notes, is like these arguments that they're having, like they aren't tangible for the audience. Like they're talking about shit that's going on cameras down or behind the scenes that we haven't seen. Like I feel like it's easier to talk about the things that we actually saw happen, and then, breaking that down. But now they're breaking down things that happen outside of the show. And then it's more so he says, she says. So you can't really do anything about that. So yeah, they're bringing up evidence from years ago about Meredith with some man while she was separated. I forgot what they called it, like Rolling Thunder, Rolling Rock, some shit like that. Anyway, it's lunchtime. They follow the ladies behind the scenes, and majority of them are just talking about Lisa. And I must say, she's been given a great reunion performance. Like contract should be already in the mail for how she's doing. Like they notice how she just has this really calm demeanor right now. And yeah. Meanwhile, Lisa and Meredith, they're talking strategy amongst themselves, and they're just holding on to this united front between them. So then after the break, we get to Mary's reel, and it's brought up that Mary's son is currently incarcerated. If you want to know the details, it is out there of why he's currently incarcerated. He gets sentenced next month. And I don't know, a black man in Utah resisting arrest and trying to fight the cops, I think they might throw some years his way. We'll see, because that would be a gag if he's sentenced to a few years in prison. And wouldn't that be the gag that he spends more time in jail than Jen Shaw? We will see. We will see. Hopefully, I think he's just a first-time offender. Hopefully they don't throw the book at him. But yeah, Mary gets emotional, but she's optimistic that at least him being in jail, she knows that he's not going to get into trouble, and she knows that he's not going to be using drugs. And most importantly, he's still alive. So yeah, pretty heavy. She says she has no plans to visit him because that would just be too weird for her. I don't know about that. I would love to know what y'all think. That just kind of gave me pause. Like, I get that you can't bear to see him behind glass, but I mean, that's the reality. And I feel like it would help him get through this situation if he could at least just see his mom, because apparently they're close. From the cameras at least. And I'm just thinking, like, what if he doesn't get out? Like, you're just not going to visit him ever, Mary? Like, this isn't like with Phaedra not visiting Apollo. This is your son. That's what I'm just thinking. So you're just not going to see him? I'm not sure if y'all know, but I have a brother that's incarcerated. He's my older brother. I have 7, y'all. Not going to get into details of why he's incarcerated, but he's been incarcerated since I was in single digits. That's how serious the crime was. And, me and my dad would still visit him because I think, my dad definitely thought that he should visit his son in jail. And also, which was really weird, it was kind of like a bonding experience for me and my dad, because we would drive to Angola Penitentiary. That's where he is right now. And I just remember those times as like, I'm fond of them kind of weirdly, because, yes, I would get to see my brother, and we don't really have a relationship these days. Like, once my parents divorced, like it really just stopped. Y'all get a little bit of Chris's business this episode. But yeah, even my dad, like, he felt like a need to see his child. So yeah, it's just something. And yeah, let me see what y'all saying. Your only child is locked up and you're refusing to go and see him. How unchristian of you. My mom visited me 3 to 4 times in 18 months. She moved out of state. Were you incarcerated? But yeah, wow, your mom is a real one. Let's see. What if something happened to him? Weird. Weirder than marrying her pawpaw. Girl, a fool. Well, I haven't watched the documentary, but some people are saying that, it happened at a young age or something like that. Maybe she was like, coerced into doing it. I don't know. But anyway, yes, I agree. It keeps their spirits up. Like, when no one visits you, that would be something. Anyway, let's see. So then Mary is asked about her mom's passing. She feels no regret about not making amends because she says she hasn't had a relationship with her mom for 20 years. Andy then segues this to asking her about the documentary that's out. Again, I haven't watched it. I just wasn't interested. And then Mary says she isn't worried about it. And I think it's because Mary is a fan favorite. And that documentary, I feel like, is just going to come and go. Like, no one's going to be talking about that once the season goes on pause for a minute. I really think, unless there's just some really big scandal that happened at the church, like, I don't think the public's going to turn on Mary Cosby anytime soon. So then next topic is Mary saying Meredith doesn't stick up for Lisa. She says, Meredith and I are, well, Lisa says, well, Meredith and I are great friends. And Mary is like, well, now. And damn, I know Lisa is just so tired of them bringing up that whole like hot mic moment. But Lisa says, I am motherfucking sick of some goddamn things on repeat. Mary interrupts her and says, please don't use God's name in vain. Like, I just thought that was a little funny. Did y'all? And Lisa was like, I don't usually do that normally. And she continues her what she has to say. But Andy says the reason why this keeps being brought up is because it's just really amazing that y'all got on the other side of this, because she said some things that really, friends don't really come back from stuff like that. Like, she went all out, called her like a garbage whore, fucking everybody in New York, etc. And on my second watch, I actually do agree with Mary. Like, it is kind of hard to believe, being that Meredith is like a notorious grudge holder, for her to just get over what Lisa said to her, but she can't get over anything else anybody else said about her. It is strange. And I do think, in Meredith's mind, she needs an alliance on this show, and it is Lisa Barlow. So I feel like maybe she does feel some type of resentment towards Lisa, but she just grits and bears it. That's just how I think. So yeah. Ooh, apparently Cameron and Mary had an affair. Was that in the documentary? Let's see. Rob Jr. was 16 years older using hardcore substances, and she discovered it when he was 21. Her only child, same household? Huh. Well, look, who knows what happens in that house? Let's see. Mary and Heather were both out of line, thinking they're judge, jury, and executioner, the way they called Lisa and Meredith dark, and piled on. Yeah, I thought it was a bit much for Mary to call Lisa dark. And Lisa was definitely like holding her mule. We'll get to that. Andy then asked Lisa, was she surprised that Mary actually was on her side, when they were on the beach? Lisa looks confused in this moment, and Mary clocked it immediately. She said, Lisa don't care. Like, it's just all about Lisa. She probably don't even know what you're talking about. And she don't. Like, some of the cast is laughing. So this creates a back and forth between Lisa and Mary. And Lisa kind of stumbles trying to remember what Andy was talking about. But Mary, in this moment, she is letting Lisa have it right now. And Lisa, she's just like a statue right now, just like this. Mary, I look, I don't know where this is coming from, Mary. We were in a good place. So yeah, I think, well, then after that, Mary called Lisa dark, as she's just sitting there standing as like a statue. But yeah, I think Lisa knows that this is just a lose-lose situation with Mary. So like, you notice how Lisa doesn't go ham on Mary the same way she goes ham on the other girls. And the thing is, I don't like that, because why? Like, why does Mary have special privileges? Like, nobody wants to go at her at all? I don't know. But yeah, so they're not getting anywhere, so they move on. So now we then finally get to the flight after the yacht trip, where Meredith went berserk, as well as the aftermath of that incident. This basically changed the course, like, of the remainder of the season. Like, sometimes, like, I wish that this never happened, and just wonder, what would they be talking about if it wasn't for Meredith crashing out on the plane? No pun intended. So then Brittany is asked, why did she bring up the TikTok in the first place? And, of course, because it's Brittany. She was being messy. She was looking for a moment. She was trying to push Meredith's buttons to get that, like, stay away from me. Like, try to get that type of reaction out of her. Brittany knows what she's doing. Of course, it was to get Meredith back. So then Andy then asked her, well, what's the proof you said you had on Watch What Happens Live? Again, it's a nothing burger. Like, she says, it was he said, she said. Apparently, Jared said that Seth told him something about having 2 girlfriends. Yes, because, like, we'll get to that in a second, but like a robot. So yeah, then in this moment, Lisa then turns it on Brittany and says, well, didn't Jared say things about Todd at the party in the beginning of the season, saying he was getting ED medication from Dubai? I was like, child. Look at Lisa trying to help out Meredith by creating deflection and chaos in the conversation. I heard in the what was it? The uncensored version, they actually called Seth on FaceTime at the reunion. They cut that part out. But let me see, where was I? So yeah, Bronwyn, she doesn't take the bait that Lisa put out for her to go at Brittany. Instead, she tells Lisa, well, Lisa, you were the one pushing Jared to say that on camera anyway. So what are you talking about? Like, you can't just bring up Todd like you were concerned. Let me see. Heather pushed the plane incident and ruined the season. I was looking forward to getting footage or something from the plane debacle, and it never happened. Right, exactly. Let's see. Was just about to say Lisa was using a level of restraint I've never seen with Mary. I think season 2, season 3, I think it was definitely season 2. It shook them that everybody was calling her like, with the cast, with the whole racist Jenny thing, and like they just don't want to be seen as racist. They're just too afraid of that accusation on them after the whole like Jenny incident. And they were just like, let's just back off Mary. I forgot when that happened though. I think it was season 2. Because I think Mary took a break. I can't remember, y'all. Because I know Mary came back season 4. It was something. I can't remember. Y'all can refresh my memory. But I know they were scared straight because of that. Even though, if y'all recall, Mary has said some problematic shit worse than the other ladies. Talking about Asians, talking about Latinos, talking about Black people. So it just says a lot that, they don't mess with Mary anymore. Thank you. Season 2. Okay. Let's see. Mary is a hypocrite that has dark energy. I think it's something there, but right now she has the public in the palm of her hand. But let's move on. So Andy then asked Brittany, does she think it was appropriate saying that Meredith be having seizures? Now, time out. I never thought Brittany meant it like that. I think she meant it in a comical way. She didn't mean that Meredith was actually having seizures, but maybe it was kind of like maybe tone deaf to say that and say like, pretend like she's saying, like she's having seizures, but she compared it to one. But then it gets kind of cringe when she says, like, well, my daughter used to have seizures when she was really young, and it reminded me of Meredith's outbursts. And she starts imitating Meredith, like, vile and despicable. Like, I was like, whoa, Brittany, whoa. Like, look, it does not land at all with the cast. Now, I wasn't mad at her about that, but now it looks a little like you're mocking people with seizures. Now, what I do like a short-circuiting robot. That's basically how I've always you can roll the tape. You can go back to because I think I covered all of Salt Lake City, right? I can't remember. I need to go back and look at my playlist, but I think I've covered Salt Lake City from the very beginning, like since You Smell Like Hospital era. And I've always done like, short circuiting like Rosie the Robot. So I never want to come out as I'm mocking someone with seizures. Okay. So yeah, I just want to put myself out there. And then, yeah, it seemed like you were mocking your own daughter too. So yeah, anyway. Where was I? So Andy then asked the cast, why did no one pick up their phone during this plane incident? And Heather basically says it was just in bad taste. Like they weren't thinking of doing that. And then they bring up like how just last season, how they all went off on Brittany when she recorded. And yes, they do show us that, that footage from the sprinter. You are vile. You're recording us. I will never forget that moment. I think that was hands down Meredith's best outburst. Best. But yeah, hindsight is 2020. Because maybe if the ladies thought that Lisa and Meredith were going to lie about what happened, maybe they would have recorded it. I know y'all get a kick out of that. Are you recording us? I don't even think if I have my shades right now, do I? I don't want to get up right now and imitate it. If you want to look at it, I already did it under my reels on YouTube. Go take a look at it. You need to leave. What is wrong with you? I can't believe I had you in my home. Anyway, so Heather accuses Meredith of recalling things when it suits her. Because from what I recall, this past season, she says she don't remember what happened or something like that. Like, I don't know. It was their word against hers. But yeah, there's a back and forth between her and Meredith. And Meredith tells Andy that Heather's been screeching at me for the past 2 months about this. And when Meredith says that, you would have thought she says something about Heather's daughters based on her reaction. Heather's like, screeching? Fuck you, Meredith. Like, I'm going to start screeching now. Like, our friendship is over from this moment forward. And then she threatens her like, buckle up, Meredith. Lisa then says, ooh, that sounds like a threat. And Heather says, it is. It is. Not her, like, basically threatening a Meredith takedown going forward next season, if Meredith's even coming back. Then she goes into how she's been a friend to Meredith since the very beginning and stood by her through a lot. Has she? Has she? Andy is still trying to get to the bottom of what happened on the plane. That's why I'm glad that at least Andy has his eye on the prize. Like, yeah, that's fine and all, but y'all doing what happened on the plane? The one time I will give Andy his flowers on being a moderator. What happened on the plane? So he wants Meredith and Brittany separately to recall to them, like, what happened. But here we go, y'all. This is when we take a turn. So before they get to that, Meredith uses her first deflection tactic. She wants to ask the group, if they were so concerned about Brittany, how come nobody stepped in? Like, how come no one was trying to say to make it stop? The ladies said they did. And then Heather calls out Meredith saying, like, she said something horrible about Brittany that they all purposely didn't repeat to protect Meredith. And I'm just like, what is it? What is it? So they now talking about a TikTok, and I want to know what Meredith said. Like, shut up, Whitney. I don't care about that. What did Meredith say that y'all are trying to protect her about? So then Brittany is recalling the incident, how the tea was told to me. So yeah, if y'all didn't know, someone I know knows someone that was on the plane working it. And what Brittany said lined up to what that person on the plane said. So, you know, what's not being said is, and what I was told was that they did check on Meredith, like when they were screaming and stuff like that. But production told, try not to get anybody in trouble. Production told whoever that was checking on them that they have everything under control. So that is why no one was waiting for Meredith at TSA, because they said in any other situation they would have called security, air marshal, like, and they would have someone waiting for Meredith. That is the reason why no one was waiting for Meredith, because production told them that they have everything under control. So right now, it's just Meredith's word against Brittany's. Meredith isn't owning anything the ladies are bringing up. And then Andy then has a direct question for Meredith. Did you have a drink before you got on the plane? And look, I think they already showed part 3, the first part of it. We know something happened. Like, we know that you crashed out. We know that you had a drink, and it probably mixed with something. It probably mixed with something for you to go off like that. Because what I was told, it happened the entire flight. The entire flight. So Meredith is lying. Meredith is lying. The person who told my friend that was on the flight, my friend's probably watching saying, you better shut up. And I'm going to shut up. It's on my Patreon, y'all. I said it, but look, anyway, yes, that was it. Let me see. Why am I just finding out Brittany and her daughter got into a fight at BravoCon? Because of course that dingbat brought Jared on their mother-daughter trip. It makes sense. It makes sense. Maybe we'll hear some more about that in part 3. But yes, Andy then asked, did you have a drink before you got on the plane? Deflection number 2. And this one was a doozy, y'all. She says, well, before we go there, let's backtrack. And I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get back to your question. She says that there's a reason why her and Brittany have had a fractured relationship. And of course, it happened off camera. Y'all, I would have never guessed what she was going to say. My first time watching, I was like, really? So she proceeds to say something, conveniently off camera, because, when it's not documented, it's just he says, she says. Like, the audience can't really have a say in the matter. She goes into this story about a nail technician that was bigoted toward Jews. And Brittany used that person regardless of, knowing what they said. Now, first and foremost, she says it was all over the news. And this is the first time I've heard about this incident. Did y'all hear anything about this? And Brittany getting a pushback? And then also, I was looking in the chat, y'all. I thought, because I know we have a lot of people in here. Make sure you like the video. I said that if they drop the reunion looks while I'm doing this recap, please let me know. Please let me know, because I will be coming back on here to do the reunion looks. So yeah, y'all let me know. And also give me the link, because I just found out how to, I'm trying my best, y'all, to try to, what do you call this? The StreamYard thing? Like, I know how to do the separate screen things now, so I'm excited to do it. Anyway, back to this bullshit. So yeah, the thing is with Meredith, she's saying that Brittany was supporting him, therefore she's supporting his hateful comments. Now, what Meredith conveniently left out that Brittany said is, this was your nail technician, bitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking? How come you didn't say that first? Why didn't you say my nail technician and when I found out? And Brittany said he reached out to her after Meredith stopped fucking with him. And she didn't know about this until she started getting comments. And then she said she withdrew her support. So when Meredith is called out about, so you use the technician first, here's the thing, y'all. Meredith, she's very smart, and she used to be a lawyer. There's a reason why she left out that, well, this was my nail technician. All she did was she went right into the story saying, well, Brittany used a nail technician that was a bigot. But you left out that he used to be your main nail person? Like, it just says a lot. Like, it says a lot that you left that out first. And Brittany had to bring that up because you weren't going to bring it up. So, yeah, when Andy asked her this, she was like, the white woman tears, they start because she don't know what to do now. I had him in my home, Andy. I had him in my home. This is very sensitive to me. This is very sensitive to me. You're weaponizing this. That's how I took it. As a double minority who experiences racism pretty much once a month, working in the service industry and implicit bias working with that. I don't know. I'm seeing some people saying two things can be true, but to throw something like that, and you don't really have proof, we'll get to that though, because Andy starts to ask her for specifics. But then Brittany starts getting some heat from the other ladies saying, well, why don't you just apologize if it bothered Meredith that much? And Brittany was like, I did. And then she starts kind of going overboard, dramatic. Look, y'all, this is Housewives. I wouldn't expect anything less from Brittany. So she's getting super upset because Meredith is basically calling her, and I'm not going to say the word, auntie, y'all finish it, because, YouTube, they're a hating ass bitch. And I got almost 200 people in here. I need the monetization. But yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. And now Brittany is sobbing, now throwing herself on the cross. I didn't know. I didn't know. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of her, but she is really now she's realizing that this bitch trying to call me an auntie or whatever. And when white people get that racism charge put on them, they start going into hysterics. So Andy then asked Meredith, has Brittany ever said anything hateful regarding your religion to you? To you. Meredith doesn't answer the question. She just says, well, Brittany was on the attack for me since day one. He didn't ask you that. He asked you, did she say anything to you regarding her religion? They even made you think that she was treating you different based on your religion. Meredith, you already had a bar mitzvah trying to make that a storyline. I don't know. But yeah, again, Andy says, but did she say anything specific? Then Meredith says, I felt like it was very targeted. And after that, I was like, wow. I was blown away by that. She basically just said, yes, I felt that way. I was like, wow. She basically accused her of that. So let me see. Meredith is an expert drama queen and uses it to redirect and change the subject. They both used him until they found out about his comments, and then they stopped using him. Simple as that. Both of them were crying fake. Look, I personally love it when white women try to use their tears against each other, because it's like putting two magnets against each other. It doesn't work, you know. Meredith was saving that story for Mad Day. Get that Oscar, Chris. What were y'all saying about Mary? I'm trying to find the comment. Meredith pulled the same shit. Like, what are we talking about? In what regard? Can someone tell me? Because I would love to know, like, what y'all mean by that. Yeah, I don't see it in the comments, but can someone clearly explain that to me? Like, what did Mary do? Because I will say, like, we can put stuff on Mary if that's the case. Like, if there was anybody Latino, and because she compared Latinos to the cartel or some shit like that, and then what she said about Asians. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that. I forgot about that. She full blown said that she thinks Whitney is a racist. I totally forgot without anything backing that up. And you got Mary, who I think is a bigot herself, lowest of keys. Thank you. Thank y'all for highlighting that, because that did happen. Anyway, so the dramatic music comes in, and Brittany is in hysterics now. The credits are rolling, and she walks off stage saying, "Fuck this, fuck this." Meredith is looking at her blank face. Don't give a shit what she just did. Like, don't care that what she said about Brittany can change her reality. Like, can ruin her life. Not only not coming back to the show, but like whatever business she has or anything like that. And for Meredith to just carelessly throw that into the wind without anything to back that up, like, I just thought that was just really irresponsible. So yeah, that's where the episode ends. I was outdone by this. I was just like, it just felt really disgusting to me to use that. And like, just weaponizing bigotry like that, like crying wolf when it comes to stuff like that, just to, like, you called someone an anti to deflect a question about your drinking. And it worked. Like, they spent all this time when I'm just like, did you have a drink before the plane or not? Or at the very least, you could have just answered the question and then been like, okay, well, this, I don't know. But that's how I felt what Meredith did. Maybe some of y'all disagree with me. This is just my opinion. I thought Meredith used that as a deflection tactic. I don't think that Brittany is an anti. Like, I don't think that at all. But yeah, like, how do you move forward from that? Like, I would sue her. I would sue Meredith, point blank. And I want to know, like, we had receipts of a cast member on the show that, what happened to racist Jenny? What happened to that type of outrage? Because from what I recall, there was not that much outrage from the women. And I think one of them, I ain't gonna say any names, was still talking to them afterward. Like, it was a mistake or whatever. So yeah, I want to know, where was the oh my God. But yeah, I agree with this too. Like, Brittany did not handle this well. She should have stood her ground. And I think she should have said that, wow, Meredith, you're really going to call me that? Like, there are actual people out here that experience that type of bigotry. And you're going to use that to deflect the question from to deflect from accountability of your actions on a plane. Like, Brittany ain't smart. She ain't smart. So yeah, that was the episode, y'all. I really think after this reunion, this franchise just needs to go like on pause for a minute. Not like in a New York minute, not in a Jersey way, but just, I heard that they're going to pick up cameras at the end of February. I don't think so. I think they should wait a little bit. And then also, I think there needs to be a cash shakeup. I don't want Meredith on this show anymore. Like after this, like what you would do just to avoid accountability and just not say, I fucked up on the plane, Brittany, I owe you an apology. Instead of saying that, you trying to bring all this other shit up. I didn't like that. So yeah, I think they need to definitely make some chops on here. Like I think Whitney don't need to come back. I don't think Meredith needs to come back. I think maybe keep like Lisa and Heather, face of the show. Mary if she wants to come back. Angie, but I think we need some new women. We need some new women. Thank you, Rich the Fish. I feel like myself now that I have a haircut. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, that's my feelings on this episode. I give it a 6 out of 10. Rewatching this was really tough, and that's why this recap came out a little late because I didn't feel like watching it again. But yeah. Exactly. If Meredith felt so offended, she would have raised this on camera. Definitely. Like, ain't no way. Like, you're gonna put me in an environment with someone who I think that about? No. Even if, like, just say if I am at work, like if I felt someone said something that was racist towards me, I'm bringing it to management. If it's not dealt with, I'm bringing it to HR immediately. And that actually happened. That happened. I'm not sure if y'all know this, but I used to work at a really popular Asian restaurant in New York. And during pre-shift, when none of the Black employees were there because it was only 3, they had a photo because we had sheets that talked about what they want to, like, what do we call it? Kind of like a worksheet of the points that we want to hit in this pre-shift meeting for the day. And they always have like a little joke photo or something like that, or maybe like something that was just like encouraging, like have a good day, or like a little meme or something. So this person, this manager who was Asian, which I was just so shocked by, we had a watermelon cocktail. So then they have this man who was clearly like, I want to say in blackface, saying, did someone say watermelon? Like a meme showing that. No one said anything. Like this got printed out in front of people. 16 people in the room. Management was there. The AGM, assistant general manager, was there. No one said anything about it. It was 2 white girls that said something about it, like, this isn't okay. And they alerted the one of the Black servers. And that Black server told me and another server. And we were just like livid. Like there was no way that was going to fly. And the terrible thing is, I actually like the manager, but it's just like it's uncalled for. Now, they did let the manager go. But I say all this to say, I don't play about that in the workspace. Like, I'm going to say something. So for Meredith not to say something about this until you're being held accountable for your actions is just gross to me. I don't play around with that. So yeah. Y'all just getting all the Chris's business this episode. Anyway, y'all, that was my recap for this episode. I can't wait for this season to end. I think we just need a little reset. But yeah, look out for my Traders recap will be tomorrow, Saturday morning. I'm going to do Beverly Hills on Sunday, and I will be back, like, hopefully, because I go to work today at 5. If there's somehow, some way that the reunion looks come out before I go to work, I will be back on here. So yeah, y'all. As always, I appreciate y'all's comments and stuff like that, y'all's participation in the live, and I will see y'all later. And with that, Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.